Welcome to the Creature Cast, the official console creatures podcast. I'm your host today, Steve Veilguard, and alongside me, as always, my good pal Bobby. How the heck are you this week?
Sorry, it is a cold and dreary Thursday. I'm drinking a already lukewarm coffee, but I'm feeling good. What about
That's
you?
great. Yeah, no. It is
Ugh,
cold. It's definitely that time. We are a brisk, less than a
it's
month away from
the
Christmas.
season. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're less than a month. It's literally okay, just under a month. I'll give it.
yeah,
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to
yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's we got a whole bunch of fun stuff planned while we're starting to wind down and get ready for the end of the year. I mean, I'll be away for a couple weeks. I got a trip out to Vegas, Sin City next week, and then the week after I'll be in LA for the Game Awards. I'll be on site for the Game Awards, seeing Jeff Keighley. He's teasing out 21 pilots playing live, and then he's saying the Balatro theme is going to be played orchestrally, and I'm like, we're winning. Gaming is
Yeah,
so back. It can't get any better than this. We're following up the live performance of Herald of Darkness last year with a Balatro theme being played in front of my eyeballs and in front of my ears. I'm riding on cloud nine right now.
and fair enough. But I'm kind of disappointed that we're not getting like an encore of Herald of Darkness because that was probably the greatest thing they've ever done.
Yeah, you
It
can't
should
top
be a
it.
staple. No, you can't. But that's why you just gotta keep just do it every year, add a little bit more,
Right.
tell a new story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's fine. You know what? I'm glad you're going. I after the last SGF, I was just wiped, and I don't know if I could risk it again for getting sick because I was out for
Yeah,
almost
you
3
were
months.
you were knocked out after
Yeah,
SGF. One
yeah. I
one
was
LA trip for you is enough for a
right.
year. I'm
Next year, I'm coming with you though. We're gonna be there. I'm definitely going.
yeah.
It's just this year I needed that break. There's no way. Can't skip
I
before Christmas.
I knew myself well enough to know that if I skipped out this year being the 10th anniversary of the Game Awards, I would have had major FOMO. I was like,
Yeah,
I
well,
just can't do it. But
that's fine.
yeah. And then once I get back, we're going to do a great episode rounding out the year. We're going to do our game of the year discussion. We're going to bring on the lads from PlayStation Generation. We're going to get Dave back in here. He's been doing fatherly duties. He's been
He went
prioritizing
for milk.
I
He
get
went
it.
for milk, and he never came back.
Waiting for milk, exactly. But no,
He went.
the idea is that everyone's going to be here. We're going to talk about our personal games of the year, and then crown one for ourselves.
Yeah,
The Creature Cast game of the year, the official one. We'll go through it. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then then we're going to be gone for the holidays for a couple of weeks, taking some time off for
yeah.
family, for relaxing, and then come back in 2025 real
Backlog.
strong.
Yeah, we
Yep,
got some. I got a big backlog to clear up. That's my big thing for
that's the
my
big thing.
year.
Yep.
And just eating as much turkey as I can because turkey and cranberry sauce is just like a chef's kiss.
That's true. I mean, we are recording this on American Thanksgiving, so for anyone out there listening, when this releases, I hope you guys had some great food, spent some time with family, spent some time with friends, and enjoy Black Friday when this episode comes out. And if you're listening to this in the future, I, I'm sorry, it's irrelevant to you. This call out is irrelevant to you, but hopefully you got something cool from Black Friday. Have you been doing any Black Friday shopping, Bobby?
I mean, I got pulled in like a sucker. So yeah, obviously I spent a lot of money this Black Friday.
Okay.
I mean, I got a new phone. I
Yep.
mentioned that before. I got AirPods because mine went kaput. I got a bunch of shoes. I got a bunch of clothes from Insert Coin.
Oh, cool.
God, I spent a lot of money. I've spent way too much, and I actually can't even tell you everything I bought because I'm drawing blanks. I spent money on books. I spent money on movies. I've spent money on everything I could eat. I've been eating a lot too. A lot of Black Friday good deals on buy one get one. So indulging.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Everything I hope I did. I hope you didn't do because
I did none of it. I did none of it. The only thing I purchased was because I'm going out to Vegas. I was like, I don't know where my portable battery is for
Oh,
charging like
you
my phone and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I could spend 2 hours looking around in my different, various,
no, it's not even worth it.
boxes and stuff. So I just went to Amazon and I bought another one for like 25 bucks, and then it came the same day. So that's the only
Beautiful.
thing I quote unquote splurged on, was a new battery pack, because as much as I love the iPhone 15 Pro, no,
Yeah,
yes, the iPhone 15 Pro is what I have. The battery is not that great. It lasts
that's
me like
surprising.
just under a year, or
That's great.
a
Well,
day. Sorry.
you know what? To be fair, I had the 14 Pro Max,
Yeah,
and like I traded that in with 85% battery health. So I mean, 2 years, yeah, about 7.5% each year. I mean, yeah, that
that's
adds
not
up.
bad.
But
Yeah,
like, I was charging it by the end. Like, I was basically having to plug it in by the end of the night,
yeah.
or even midday by the time I was driving back home. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like these battery estimates are not accurate, and they always estimate by video quality, how much video you watch. I'm like, that's not
That's
how
the
I do
thing.
it.
Yep.
And it's just like 33 hours of video is not what I'm looking for. What's a full day of productivity? What was that, like 12 hours, 13 hours?
Mhm.
So,
Sure.
I mean, so far so good. My new phone, I charged it for about an hour while I was driving back. It's at 64%
Yep.
today. So I don't know. I feel like the 16 Pro Max has a good chance of surviving the battery test this year. That's what
Yeah,
everyone's
hopefully you
saying.
get a couple good years out of it, for sure.
I mean, overall, I do like the Apple phones. I mean, it just like I mentioned before the show, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. The biggest thing is the action button and that new
Yeah.
camera button. Like I mean, it's pretty easy to get the camera without those. So I hope they take it. There's a way to take advantage of them, and I can use them some other way. But ultimately, yeah, it's a cool phone. It is beautiful. The color quality is beautiful. I do love the 120 hertz display
Nice.
screen. I do like the USB-C, but like that kind of just shook up my whole ecosystem because everything was lightning up until this
Right?
year today. So now it's like I got to rebuy all these cables. Yeah, not fun, but whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I do like the AirPods. The AirPods are probably my favorite thing I bought so far.
Did you get
They are.
the 4? AirPods 4?
I got the Pro 2
Oh, Pro
second gen.
2. Got it.
They were on such a good price. I mean, almost $100 off. That's like it was at Staples. But like, yeah, they're great. Like honestly, this noise control is good. Bass is good. Battery life seems to be good, about 6 hours. So I mean, I'll take it. But
Yeah, that's not
yeah,
bad at all.
I'm scared to use them outside of every day. I'm not gonna bring them to the gym like I did my old one. So I'm gonna be covering some beat stuff later this year, and we'll talk about that later in the future because I'm gonna try to mix that into everyday life and some gaming and gym and how those work out.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. That'll be an interesting one to kinda compare, because I mean, it's weird because, I mean, like, Apple owns Beats, but then they
Yeah,
treat it completely separately, and then they have Air yeah. I've never
I
really
completely
understood there.
forgot that Apple owned them until I was
Yeah.
just looking them up recently. I'm like, oh, that's right. They were sold about 10 years ago to Apple or whatever, and
Mm.
never hear anything about them talking about Apple talking about Beats. So it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, everyone seems to say that the new Beats have been good. Like the Beats Studio Pros, I'm going to be checking those out,
Mm.
and I think the Solo 4s I'll be checking out. So like, I'm
Solo
excited
4,
to
yeah.
do them. I mean, I love headphones. I like a good over the ear. It's the best way to work out. It's the best way to kind of just go about your day instead of AirPods. Like as much as I like the AirPods, I think Beats a good pair of over the ear with a hat, and you're just doing your thing.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, exactly, especially if you have, like, good ANC on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And yeah, other than that, I mean, I've been trying to game. I know. Let's talk. Like, we can talk about some gaming. I know it's end of the
Absolutely,
year.
yeah.
We're all busy, but you know what? I'm trying to do as much gaming as I can. My white whale this year is trying to finish Dragon Age. I know you've been thick into it. That's my next game up, but like I feel like I have to play it before Christmas. But for now, I've just been winding down on Metaphor ReFantazio, and
Okay.
I know that Matt reviewed it, but I've been plucking away at it. I've been doing a couple hours a night. I'm almost done. I think I'm 125 hours in. I've taken my sweet time playing on hard. It's a lot more difficult than I anticipated, but man, it is
Mhm.
a good game. If anyone is listening and you're on the fence, like it is on par, if not as good, if not better than a FF7 Rebirth. And coming from me like that, that's like the highest praise I can give it. It almost matches, Square Enix's, Michelangelo David. It's like their
Yeah.
game. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised how good this game is. I know, Steve, I know you played a little bit, but you bounced off it. But
No,
man,
I haven't even started it, so I have it
since you
on.
started, okay.
Yeah, no, I have it, and then I was toying around with the idea that I was going to start playing it, but then yeah, Dragon Age came up, and I only have the bandwidth for one 100-hour game at a time. So if everything goes according to plan, that is a game that I'll probably end up playing over the holiday break. If
It's definitely something I think everyone should play. Like, even outside of the fact that it's a JRPG, it is a
yeah,
pretty timely game. Like, it honestly fits the landscape of what's happening in the last couple months with the elections and all the racism going around. Like, it's a lot of real world issues they really dive into in Metaphor, and they nail it. Everything that Persona games are known for, like, it's there, and none of the bad things. So, like, obviously Persona games are like very, they're Japanese games, so like they're they have their tone, they have their comedy, they have their story beats with, like, bad things, but they also have issues with, like, sometimes with certain communities that a lot of people were not fans of, like the LGBT community, and yeah, but none of that's here. Like, whatever is in Metaphor has just been investigated, researched, and implemented properly. So, like, any story beat that may have been problematic in other games, like they address it in a way that it's smart, and it's like, I feel like it's a good mix of the Japanese script with the translators from Atla. Like, I feel like they did a good job bringing that script to a new clientele. And yeah, so far, like, so good. I mean, I don't know if you've heard the main theme song, Steve, like the battle theme, but like it's got that Shinto priest in the back chanting, and it's like it's the biggest earworm of 2024 for sure. I feel like I've been just in my head just singing it over and over, just because it's just so it's so addicting, and it's just like it's a great score. I mean, everything about it is great. I can't stress enough how great this game is, and if you're interested in this game, like, we have a full review. Matt's got his video review on YouTube, but like, play. Like, honestly, it is such a great JRPG. It's a great game in general. It's rare for one game to nail gameplay, story, music, themes, anything you could think of. It excels at it.
Nice, yeah. I'm hoping, I'm very hopeful that I can at least check it out. Whether or not the game speaks to me in the long run, there's a different story. But I definitely want to put some time into it just to see what the hubbub is about. But yeah, like you said, I am trying to finish Dragon Age right now. I'm getting to the point of no return. I can already tell, because like all the companion quests are now being tied up. Like, every time I talk to them, we're kind of like in the end game phases of each one. So just kind of checking off the boxes for each one of them. And then, yeah, I do know that the game has a pretty early point of no return, like a couple of chapters, and it kind of locks you from doing side quests and stuff like that until you roll credits. So I know I'm kind of in that ballpark, which, if in a perfect world, means another 10 hours, 15 hours of the game left, and then I can kind of roll credits on it, and then kind of walk away from it. But yeah, as far as an update of what my thoughts and feelings on the game are, there's a very specific moment in this game, probably late on, probably like around chapter 6, where the game offers you like the first compelling choice that you have to make. And it's not even a character choice. It's more of like this is happening in the world. You have to make a choice right now. And that was the first time that I was like, oh, I'm locked in. I'm finally, after what felt like 20 hours of getting to that point, I was like, oh, this is finally the point where all the set dressing, all the slow buildup of these characters, the world building, everything led to this moment. And now I'm feeling a lot better about the game. I'm not. Sorry, go ahead.
What do you feel in general about the game? Like, I know there's a lot of mixed reception.
Yeah,
mostly leaning towards good, but like, what's your history with the series? You've played Origins and 2 and Inquisition.
I played Origin, skipped 2, and then bounced pretty early off from Inquisition,
Okay. Yeah.
and never really like, it was never a franchise that I really liked all that much. I was
Right.
always just a Mass Effect person, and
Yeah. Fair enough.
then I heard about, the yeah, I just heard, like, a lot of good things about this one, good and bad. Like, you're saying, yeah, mixed reception things, but I heard a lot of good things. So I was like, I feel very compelled to at least try this game. And overall, I think getting now towards the end of it, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I do still say that early on, the writing is really, really sucky. It feels
That's so weird to me.
it
Hearing
feels very kind of like, I don't know, not it feels far removed from what you would expect a high
from
fantasy game to be, where people are just kind of talking very odd. Um, and I just really don't like that when they offer you dialogue choices. You can be, the funny man, you can be the positive person, or you can be like, the leader. And all of them just really don't represent what I would pick and do. And I understand, but that being said, now 40, almost 50 hours into this game, I understand that it's not trying to be Mass Effect, where it is, you're doing you're creating your own shepherd, you're creating your own story. Your Rook isn't being shaped by your choices in this game. It's kind of about
They're just
fundamentally forming relationships with certain characters and then
right.
making impactful decisions based on the world. It's a very different BioWare game, and to me, it just took a long time for me to kind of warm up to that idea. Because to me, for years at this point, I mean, even not so much Anthem, but even Mass Effect Andromeda, it was about creating your story. It was about all your choices impacting your character and then impacting the world as well. Whereas the Veilguard, it feels like Rook being the main character, you're really not changing his story all that much. It's
Right.
just his relationships with certain characters. It's very different. Yeah.
And that's what not what Bioware is, and that's kind of why I've been through it, and I'm just like, I mean, like I want to play it, but then you're all this I've seen and what you're saying, I don't know. Origins has stuck with me through what 15 years of
Mm,
Dragon Age. No, it was like honestly one of the best games I've played in the last like 20 years, and
yeah.
honestly, I'm surprised it went from what it was to what it is, and it's just hard to just connect them at this point because this is like I mean I fell in love with what Origins was, and it seems to be that was not what resonated with a lot of people, so they pivoted, and it worked for a bit with Inquisition, and then now it's gone back to this pattern of, well, like what's going to come after this? Is it going to be another action RPG? Are they gonna pivot again? And it's just like I don't know where to stick. Like, should I stick with the series? It's just like there's all these questions I have. And I'm like, because
I mean,
I feel like that's the thing. Like, we know what Dragon Age is, but what's its identity? Like, what is it trying to
that's so
say?
true. Yeah, I really don't know. But I will say that from a gameplay point of view,
Yeah,
this game is like firing on all cylinders. I love this game. The way the game plays, the way the combat is,
yeah,
it feels like it took the best parts of Final Fantasy 16 and
right,
just evolved from that. Of now, not only are you, getting to use the system wheel and stuff like that for powers and stuff like that, like you did in Final Fantasy 16, but now you get to control your companions as well, your two companions that you bring out
yeah,
onto the field. It feels so nice. I think I really didn't like the UI and style of
right,
the combat system when I first saw it in like trailers and stuff like that. But
yeah,
getting my hands on it and getting used to it, I adore it. And I think, yeah, just the way the combat feels in this game, having the option, I'm playing as a mage, having the option of having, the staff and then switching out to like a little dagger that you can use, and
right.
using both kind of loadouts for different enemies. It just feels really good. So from a gameplay perspective, I think this is probably one of BioWare's best in a very, very long time. I would say best since, again, Inquisition didn't really speak to me, so probably for me, best since Mass Effect 3. So I'm just having a great time just playing Dragon Age, and then
Yeah,
It is getting better. Like by the time I'm now towards the tail end of it, I feel really attached to certain characters, especially like the companions and stuff. Which again, that's such a Bioware thing where you form relationships, you form bonds with a lot of these side characters. That's where some of the core memories are. You know, like with Shepard and Garrus and stuff like that. Like I'm kind of having similar feelings towards some of the characters that are in the Veilguard, but then it's just the dialogue and just the choices you're given as you're speaking to them where I'm like, it's a little it's just not matching the quality that is across the rest of the game. I'll also say that this game runs phenomenally. Like for, you know, games that came out earlier this year, like Star Wars Outlaws or uh, other games like that where they come out, or even, you know, last year, not Fallen Order. Wait, was it Fallen Order?
Yeah, the
Survivor.
second one, Survivor, Fallen
Survivor,
Survivor.
yeah. Where
Survivor.
games come out and they can't even, you know, barely run stable 30 frames per second and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like this game, not a hitch, not a slowdown, no drop frames, anything like that. This game runs buttery smooth, like one of BioWare's best, hands down. And I like the animation style. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, it looks like a Pixar game." I like it. I personally think that is very gorgeous, and the
yeah,
environmentals are some of the best I've seen this generation too.
that's good. Yeah, no, honestly, the visuals were never the issue for me. It was just like, okay, like I said, it was just it never knew what it wanted to be, and like you can see from 4 games now, it's just like pick a lane and just like
Yeah,
improving it, right? But I mean, everything about it, like the game itself looks great. It's just, it's like, yeah, what I'm looking for is something cohesive, and I feel like that's still not there. But I mean, I could be wrong. That's why I'm going to play it next. I'm excited to play on the Pro, on the PS5 Pro, because I
mhm.
mean, everyone's saying it's really good on there with the enhancements. So yeah, I mean, I've seen your screenshots. I've seen some of Matt's screenshots, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. So like, I mean, I live for good environments.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
It's a really solid, I would say, like an 8 out of 10 game, like a really solid 8 out of 10. But it could have been a 9 if the dialogue was just a little better. And I'm hoping that they can kind of take that feedback, because I do hear a lot of the same criticisms across the board. That I'm hoping that they can kind of take that criticism and then
Right.
implement it for Mass Effect, because I do think that if they come and they try the same kind of jokey bro humor, not bro humor, it's very hard to explain like what kind of tone that they have for the dialogue. Um,
Yeah.
it's like they're having a conversation like you or I would when they're surrounded by, you know, like elves and stuff like that. It's very strange. But if they do that for Mass Effect, I think that's going to be a real loss for them. I think that would be a misstep.
And yeah, like to match Mass Effect's tone is going to be pretty hot, impossible. But I feel like they're going to have to. There's no other way about it. If you're doing a Mass Effect game, you have to match the tone. Like, there's no other way. You can't
Yeah.
just be like, well, we're going to do our best, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to pivot this way. No, it has to be
Yep.
Mass Effect. Like look what happened in Andromeda.
Seriously.
Andromeda was a good game. It wasn't a good Mass Effect. It was an okay Mass Effect game. Like if
It
it
was
wasn't a
very
Mass Effect,
okay,
yeah.
but
But I feel
yeah,
if it
you're
wasn't
following
Mass
up
Effect,
3 amazing games.
I know that's the thing, right? But yeah, whatever. I fully support Bioware. It just yeah, they're finally in a. I feel like they're finally found their voice again. So like now it's going to take some time to get back to where they were. So I mean, obviously, the Veilguard seems like a fair first step into that direction. So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens to the next release.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, with all things considered, following up Mass Effect Andromeda and then Anthem, and even despite my criticisms of Veilguard, it being
Yeah,
as good as it is a great sign, and it fills
yeah,
me with so much confidence because I really did think we were long past BioWare really having the stuff, and I feel like there's still stuff here. Like they still
oh
got some smoke for people, despite, you know, a lot of the team and everything kind of moving on and being dispersed and everything. I feel like BioWare still has a lot of cachet, and
oh
that's been
yeah,
proven in this game.
100%. Like there's, I feel like yeah, like I said, they're back on solid footing. I feel after
Yeah.
Anthem, they have to be. And not to say Anthem was a bad game. I feel like it really should have had that opportunity to find itself with whatever patch 2.0 it was going to be, because it did seem like that was more of what people wanted, but whatever. They moved on, they made this game, so it's fine. But I feel, I have faith in BioWare finally again, after years of just whatever happened. We all kind of know with behind the scenes and whatever happened. I mean, it wasn't pretty. I mean, we have all the website on our website, all the news that happened around that, but I have faith in BioWare.
Yeah, I just hope that they can get Mass Effect out quickly.
Soon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing that other thing I hate about the industry is games just take far too long these days, and so many companies announce their games so far in advance. It ruins everything for me. And it's just like, I'd rather you have a 90% game finish with 6 months to go before you reveal it, and then just push it out.
The Fallout 4 release timing between announcement and then release was the best.
Yeah.
Announce it in summer at E3, and then October, November, whenever it came out, boom, here you go. Like, it was fascinating to watch.
I used to love E3, because and E3 was always just like, here we're in June, these are all the games coming out in the fall, and that's why I loved E3. It was always like, what's coming out in the near future. That's what a lot of these new showcases don't seem to understand, is they show all their cards, and it's just like, well, I didn't want to see everything. I just wanted to know what you're doing for the next hand. So why, like, what are you doing? And I don't know. I feel like we have to reel it back. I feel like every company making games needs to dial it in a little bit. Stop being so ambitious. Actually, no. Be more ambitious, because everything's a sequel these days, and I don't want sequels. So, you know what? Dial it in, but be ambitious. So if that's something you can't do, guys, I know you can, because I've seen games. Look at games like Battlefield. Like, honestly, that game is so simple in nature, but look how amazing it is. Like, games like that. Like, we want creativity to flourish. Just don't spend 8 years making a game, because I don't need to wait 8 years for any game. Like, that's not worth it to me.
Yeah. It takes way too long, and then you end up seeing the game way too often.
Yeah, what was that one game? It was like 2 years ago. We kept Deathloop. Remember
Deathloop? Yep.
Holy shit, that was the worst hype cycle I've ever been through. Like, honestly, it was just like every show had a Deathloop trailer, and it was like,
yep,
when is it coming out? And then it came out, and it was good, but like,
it was amazing. But we saw way too much of it in the lead up.
Yeah, so like, I feel like the industry does need a reset. It needs a full on reset. Just shake it up, go back to the way things were, and stop making such massive games, because I don't need a 95-100-hour open world game. Like, I would love like a linear story. I want like old school Uncharted games. I want old school Jack and Daxter. I want I'll even take Infamous. Like, honestly, like, I'm not the biggest Infamous fan, but like, I want that structure back. I don't need massive like Ghost of Tsushima games. Like, as much as I love it, smaller, cohesive, linear games are my favorite lately, and it's been refreshing being able to just load. Like, we played Uncharted 2 a couple of months ago, and it was like, this is what I want. 10-15 hours, I'm good, I'm satisfied, let's move on.
Yeah, no, I agree. Have you been playing anything else, Bobby?
Outside of Call of Duty, not really. I mean, it's still my favorite, most played multiplayer game in the past couple of years, I feel.
Yeah.
I've been putting a lot of time into the new map, and lots of Nuketown. Nuketown is such a great map. Like, I honestly love the new change they made to it. I think they did. What's the new? So there's Nuketown. There was like I think it's Aftermath. Is the new map?
Yeah. After the nuke goes off, that's the sick map.
Oh man, it's such a great map. I've just been playing a lot of that, just trying to grind up my character, and like, it's been fun. I do like Black Ops 6. It's been great.
Yep.
And that's it. I know that there's not much else coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. I know we have one game next month that I think is coming out. Indiana Jones. Like, that's basically the last big launch I'm looking forward to, and then a couple of small games. I'm going to probably play Fantasian, which is like the last true JRPG from Hironobu Sakaguchi's
Okay.
Mistwalker. So like it was on Apple Arcade when it launched, and now it's coming to consoles, and I'm looking forward to that. But outside of that, like I'm just gonna pluck away at my backlog and finish off whatever's there. I mean, I it's just this time of the year. Like we're gonna be doing top games, we're gonna be games of the year. I'm just trying to cram as much as I can that I missed in the last like 8 months, because that it kind of pivoted towards June, I feel, is when everything came to a head, and I lost control of my backlog. So I just got to touch up and go from there. But yeah, I think outside of that, I'm just going to revisit a couple of, I want to go back to Battlefield 2042.
Okay.
I'm hearing it's good. I love Battlefield. Outside of Battlefield 1, I didn't have a lot of fun with the newer one. So it's like, I'm going to give this one another try, see what's going on with it. And that's basically it. I don't know about you. Like, what are you playing outside of these games?
Yeah, I do want to power through Dragon Age before, I mean, hopefully by the end of this week, if I want to be a little ambitious before I go away for a while. And I'm going to load up 1000X Resist, because I've been
I
hearing
played
nothing but
that.
great things.
Did you buy a copy?
I got a code. I just need to start playing it now, because yeah, it was kind of under the recommendation from Matt. He just kept talking about it and was praising it. So yeah, I reached out, got a copy. I think I'm gonna throw it on my Nintendo Switch and then play it on the plane. I got a bunch of plane rides.
Can I warn you?
Yeah,
get it for another device. I reviewed it on Switch. I didn't like it as much.
Oh really?
It was held back on Switch. Like honestly, I feel like the hardware really did a number. Like I feel like I'm gonna play. I might just buy it again because I reviewed it. I loved it. It is definitely a game everyone needs to play. But yeah, the Switch, it was just
okay. Maybe
hard to recommend on Switch. If you have your ROG,
yeah, I do. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll reach out to them again and see if I can get a Steam code. Because yeah, I do want to play it, and I mean, I'm going to be on the plane in the next 2 weeks, like 20 hours. So I got plenty of time to just kick back and play a game on my ROG Ally.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing from that game. It was just on Switch. It was just hard to find it.
Okay,
but yeah,
that's all right. Yeah, and then once I'm back, I do want to play Silent Hill 2. That's the game that's gone away from me very recently, and I just it escaped me. It came out of like the most inopportune time, and then I know Indiana Jones as well. That's a game that's coming out, but not really a backlog game. But yeah, so I think those are the 3 games I do want to tackle before before all is said and done, and we say goodbye this year. Those are the games that definitely escape me, and I don't think really all that much I've missed out on, to be honest. I've really wanted to play. I can't think of anything.
The thing outside of, there's only 3 games I'm interested in. So like we said, Indiana Jones, which is out in a couple of weeks. For me, it's Fantasian, and then Marvel Rivals is out actually next week.
Oh yeah.
And then that's basically it. And then Alien Rogue Incursion, which I feel like I do want to play. That's out.
Yes. That's right.
And that's it. Silent Hill 2 is my other game. I have a copy. I'm gonna play it. I just need to get through it. I need to just sit down and play it because it's been elusive to me. And that's basically it. I'm just looking up the release schedule. Everything else I've kind of gone through. I've played it. So yeah, other than that. Oh, I just have to finish Alan Wake 2's DLC. That's my other one.
Yeah, you do. You gotta finish Lake House.
I gotta finish. I think it's a Christmas game for me, so I'm gonna wait until I'm on break. Just do it. Nice. Like I did that last year. Like I've cleared out. I platinumed it during Christmas break, and like honestly, it was the best 2 weeks of my life.
Yeah, I mean, Lake House is very short. You could probably do it in a night, to be totally honest. But I feel like at least get around to it before the holidays are over.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, other than that, like I feel like I've hit every game I wanted to play this year. It's just the ones we've named. So I'm gonna get through those, and we're gonna start doing our breakdowns. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to 2025 because it's coming out pretty strong. I think January and February are already packed. So
February, especially, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll have a lot to talk about in the new year when it finally arrives. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, anything else you wanted to chat about before we start wrapping things up? I mean, I was going to I was expecting there to be more to talk about with the backlog, but I'm really drawing a blank on games that I kind of miss. I feel like this year was very I was very fortunate this year of being able to play most of the games that I wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, my backlog is pretty expansive for this year, but like it's nothing like huge that I've played. Like my backlog is mostly like Trails in the Sky, and I'm gonna do a bunch of old PS2 games, and that's basically my backlog for the majority of it. I've pretty much caught up to this year. I just got, like I said, Silent Hill, Alan Wake, and a couple other small things. But yeah, everything else I've hit pretty good. I mean, I can't think of what else I want to play. I mean, oh, Black Myth. That's the only other game I have to go back and finish.
Fuck yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I do want to at least try Black Myth.
I have to finish. For sure I'm going to. But yeah, I mean, I know it's got a really weird reputation right now, but I'll give it a shot. I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year, but I mean, for what it is, I'm interested to try it. I mean, I feel like it looks cool, probably plays really well, so I'm going to spend more time with it. But yeah, other than that, I'm looking forward to it. And that's it. I mean, I feel like we're at that time of the year where everything's kind of been said and done. We just got to wait till 2025. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get Shadow, but given how the delay is like 4 months, I feel like it had to happen because I don't feel like it would have probably reviewed it well, given how bad Outlaws ended up being with the 6, I think it was like a 5-day review period. So I'm glad they delayed it. But yeah, I think that's one of my most anticipated games for next year is just going back to Shadow and seeing like how it plays and whether or not it's finally the Assassin's game I want. Because I mean, I still yearn for the older stuff. I to this day dream of AC2 and Black Flag and Unity. So
yeah,
I hope it's more like that.
Yeah, we will see when Ubisoft is ready to get that game out. I'm hopeful. I'm eager to see how it all shakes out, but I'm also just kind of at the point where I'm just kind of tired of talking about it, and it hasn't even come out yet.
I know.
Yeah, other people have just ruined that game for me.
I know it's been kind of hijacked. It was hijacked by terrorists.
Yeah.
But like I said, and going back to what we said earlier, E3, I do like that whole. I miss the whole. Here's the first AC game leak. Here's what it was, and then it's like, okay, we'll see you at E3, and then E3 comes around and gives you the trailer and the gameplay, and then it's like, see you in October or November, and it's like I love that 4-month period where it was just like, we don't know what the game is, now we know what it is. Here's the leak, here's the gameplay, and it's out. And like I miss that, and now it's just like they're churning out these games on a dime, and there's too many of them, and it's just like that's what I miss. Like I just miss that little birthing window of greatness of what these games are. It was a lot better planned and executed 10 years ago.
Yeah. Unfortunately, games are more expensive. They're bigger now, and a lot of announcements nowadays are just made specifically to entice.
Investors.
Well, not even investors. It's to say, hey, come work for this game because we're making a Mass Effect, we're making Splinter Cell, and then they're not even in like pre-production. They're just trying to acquire talent by an announcement.
And the good thing, I mean, is Ubisoft's, I guess, one of their most recent like financials says like half the people working on this game are junior developers, so that's a good thing because I mean, you're obviously getting fresh faces, yes, but you're also getting people with a lot of good energy and people who are ambitious and like they want to bring ideas to the franchise. So AC's got that benefit to them. So like a Ubisoft is massive in you know body count, but like that's a great thing to have. Is half your staff is fresh and re-energized and willing to give you their creative energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's one of the benefits of being at Ubisoft, I feel. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm an AC fan. I'm just saddened by the delay because it's customary, right? I mean, November rolls around, October, and you play AC. And
that is true.
Yeah, that's what I'd probably be playing right now. But right now, it's just like, well, I'm kind of in the limbo.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, no, I think pretty much excited for 2025. I feel like, yeah, the next couple months are going to be really exciting. I know you're going to be at the Game Awards, showcasing all those beautiful trails that Jeff's got for us. And I hope that he does what we said and brings up Conan, and you get to meet Conan. And
I hope so. Yeah. Get to shake his hand.
I'm sure
We'll
he
see.
would not let you shake his hand. He'd probably freak out
No.
because
Yeah.
it's Conan.
It's Conan. Exactly.
No
But we'll see.
phone.
Yeah. Great. Well, this has been another episode, and like I mentioned, I will be gone for a couple of weeks. So, Bobby, you're holding down the fort now that
Yeah.
Dave's gone, then I'm gone, and the battle royale of the creature cast is
Oh my god.
concluded. So I'm excited to see what sort of episodes occur while I'm away. I'm excited to see who you bring on. Maybe someone from PlayStation generation, maybe a friend of the show. That'll be a lot of fun. But until then, where can people keep up with you and keep up with the website?
You can find us at consolecreatures.com, Bluesky, Instagram, Threads, wherever you want. We're there.
Amazing. Awesome. And yeah, you can find me across the internet at svigvari. And yeah, we'll be back with a whole bunch of fun stuff. And yeah, the game of the year discussion will be happening next month. I hope you guys get excited for that. And then
developers, we have a couple of PO boxes. If you want to bribe us, there are options.
Of course,
I feel like we're gonna have to whittle down Backlogs to game of the year. I feel like you guys are probably going to be pushing that one, but I'm going to be fighting for FF7. So I mean, publishers, developers, get at me. We'll take bribes in forms of cookies, coffee, bubble tea, and
hugs. Yeah, I'll take a hug.
Swag.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.